at home decided to watch some TV, listening to the news by Gordon Mosley. And listening to the things that he say he tracking tonight, paying close attention to make sure I hear it right. But when I hear the things that he mentioned on the news, I had to declare them kind of thing got me confused. I hear some things where the ERC noticing, and it convinced me that people ain't learning nothing. We hear so many times about them big name calling, and they say ERC pretend that they didn't learn nothing. But once you're black and you just decide to say a word or two, bet your life on that they say ERC coming for you. Listen to the things you just hear on social media. Only one set of people allowed to talk in one Guyana. I still say, not many black people in learning. But this is my concern. I hope one day black people will learn. ERC that I would like to know, if any of his members happens to be black people. And if that is the case, I want them to answer this call. Tell me how come none of them ain't got no voice at all. You're showing signs of weakness and you're afraid to be fair, and we see the same thing keep happening year after year. And the day will come when all this nonsense will stop. That will be the day when black people decide to wake up. Not so long ago, something terrible happened. This young Indian man want to kill out all black people by poison. But if his shoes was on the other foot, would have been a big threat. But up to this day, this ERC can't do nothing as yet. How come it's only black people committing cybercrime? When pretty on social media fussing people all the time, I still say black people in learning. But one day will come when the entire table will turn. Excuse me, see they fail to condemn, because these people think that the law is only for them. And anybody else who decide to file a complaint, they go call you a racist and don't want to hear nothing. Plenty complaint from time to time has been brought to their attention, but because of this one-sided cybercrime is why they don't show any concern. There's only one set of people that they really care about, and black people must take the abuse and shut them out. Kidaki Amsterdam went to court just recently for an issue that was highlighted by the same ERC. And with breakneck speed, the police decide to jump on his case. Without a search warrant, they went and search up the man's place. Let us all agree that black people under attack. Different laws for you and me just because we black. are still singing. Black people in London. To all my black friends, we must put a stop to all this nonsense. Many in the cybercrime laws to keep people silent, just to make sure nobody criticizes this government. And while that is a very clear case of dictatorship, it is no surprise that the ERC ignoring it. Why only the chosen few is allowed to have things their way, when people like me and you must have nothing to say? And when ministers in the government start to launch their attack, you never hear this ERC come out and talk about that. They send a policeman all the way to New York. This fella went up there to serve a customer on Rickford Park. Under this thing, this government decide to fabricate that case, but like they forget the warning they get from Latisha James. The vice president is prepared to use a shallow life. Because of this kind of abuse, he don't have a wife. I still singing. Black people in learning. Just the other day, I hope your man see help is on the way.
All right, so today we are here at Club Twilight up in Buxton, and we are here to talk about all that's going on up here. Trust me, if you are on the East Coast, you're in Buxton, you're in town, you're looking for a place to get away to, this is the place. The Cutters, mwah. Listen, I'll be having some just now again. We'll talk about that. And then, of course, the ambience is beautiful, fully air conditioned. The decor is on point. The music's on point. Everything's on point. It's just me. I need some work. But everything else that belongs to this club here is on point. So if you want to find a nice little place where you can just drive out of town and have some drinks, have some food, you can call, you can order your stuff and just take it. You don't have to stay. Or if you want to stay here, that's what's up. And of course, they have special events for Valentine's. You can rent a hall. You can rent a hall, honey. You can rent a hall for weddings, for birthday parties, to have a bash. I hope he edits that out. But you know, whatever it is, this is definitely the place to be. So it's on Sideline Dam. You definitely want to ensure that you check this place out. But it's on your to-do list. All right, on your to-do list. This is definitely the place to check out, you know, a really cool, chill spot here in Buxton. I like this. This is, Buxton needed this. We needed this. I needed this. You definitely needed too. Thank you. All right, so you might be wondering where we are. Still in Buxton at Club Twilight. That's where we are. So Club Twilight also has like an Airbnb as well. So you could come, drink, drunk, and come in the back here and lie down. Look at that. Look at that. Perfection. And the people come in the room and so on. The bed sheet matching the blind, matching the carpet, matching the this, matching the that. We know but we things in Buxton don't play with we. So definitely, if you want to come and you may be having a wedding or whatever, and you just want to overnight and just have a good time because you're gonna be drunk, we got too much road accidents. So you definitely want to come, drink, have a good time. They have several rooms that you can rent. You have your toilet, you have your bath, you have your sink, you have your dining area, you have the bed. This is nice. I like it. Anyways, to my friends and my family, if you're looking for me, I'll be overnighting. Also, for those persons who are traveling in from overseas, you want a nice, cozy place out of town, then Club Twilight, call them up, look them up on social media. They have their own Facebook page, and ensure that you come up the side and have a good time. Have a good time. Have a good time. Sorry. I'm sorry. That's it.
Don't be a victim. Beat the heat with EC crystals. Party ice in large and small quantities. Call 682-7981 or visit us at Club Twilight, Sideline Dam, Buxton North. EC crystals. Pure party ice. Are you hosting an event? Do you need ice, party ice in large or small quantities? Then call us at 622-5933 for the best party ice available. $1,000 per bag. We do delivery. EC Crystals, Sideline Dam, Buxton North. Call to have your orders filled today. So Wambai, all you do? May you support the coalition like me? Very good choice, because the coalition putting people first. But let me ask you something. You check for your name on the list yet? Well, partner, you got to check for your name on the list and show you there, so you go put the vote next to the palm come the 1st of September. Let me show you how to check them. In a hard, man. You just got to go up on GCOM website. When you go up on GCOM website, you go see this thingy. You see them? That GCOM website. You just got to scroll up or scroll down, whichever one you want to call them, but you try to go bottom of the page and you see this red and white writing here, resource hub. Click Panda. Once you click Panda, you will see general and regional election for September 2025. Scroll up again. And then right on your left hand side, you see query tool. Watch me click Panda and it turn blue there. Click Panam. Good. Now you reach the page, they ask you online, they tell you about online tools, query registration status. All them must say check to see if your name there. You can put in your ID number and you can search by ID number. But me I want to give you my ID number because not for you too fast. Now what my ID number. Me go search by my first name, my last name, and my date of birth. So me put in Kidaki Amsterdam. Me put in my first name, Kidaki Amsterdam. Me put in my last name. Right? And then me go put in my date of birth. But again, I don't want to mind my business. But me go put in my date of birth. But are you watch me face good and proper? Me, I want coalition supporter because the coalition is putting people first. Right? When we don't put in my date of birth, and you don't put in, you want to click on search by particulars. When you click on search by particulars, this is how it will come up. You see revised list of electors and so on. We watch your name there right there. Me name there right there. When you scroll down, me name there right there. Occupation, teacher name, Amsterdam, Kidaki. Address, 9 section C, Buxton. District 4, Demerara, Mahika. Division 421-127C. Buxton Village, Friendship Village, south of the railway line. I tell you, man. No one background side, man. And me stay strong. Me as support the Aubrey Norton for president and Director Finance for Prime Minister coalition, the APNU coalition. Because they got policies that are people-centered. They're putting people first. So when September 1st come and you go in the booth, Now whether all of them just come, Johnny, come lately, and all of them will tell you stupidness. Put your X next to the palm. Palm them out. You understand? Let me show you what the palm look like when you put your X next to. In case you don't know. What's the palm there? Put your X next to the palm and vote strong for the APNU coalition. Because we put in people first, and when you vote for we're going to ensure, you vote going to ensure that we get rid of the nasty, dirty, stinking, thieving PPP party and give you the best opportunity in this country that you ever had. So vote APNU. But before you vote APNU, remember you have to check to ensure that you're named upon the list. So go GCOM website. Go check them. Okay? Me gone. Me left for you. But spread the word. Spread the word. Tell everybody how to check for their name and tell everybody to vote for APNU.
Are you looking for tents to rent? Well, look no further. At EC Party Rentals, Sideline and Boxer North, we have tents in all sizes and colors. All sizes of tents we have. Small tents, big tents, medium tents, extra large tents. Call us on 622-5933. We have what you need. EC Party Rentals. Big on tents.
Too long them PPP fatten up while we beg. Milk and honey gone, but we still drink dregs. Them build big house while school roof fall, and poor man crying when rain start fall. Them take oil, gold and timber too, but the children hungry. Tell me what to do. From Burba straight to let them side, it's only lies them they're trying to hide. It's been too long, too long. The PPP must go. We've been silent while them do wrong. Too long, too long. Them thieving with a suit and a song. Too long, too long. We paid the price, they played the done. Guyana rise, we must be strong. This can't go on. Nah, this can't go on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Contract sign in the middle of night. No tender, no court, just bribe and spite.
Cause a serious time and
Oh, is it that should really be sad? Why my people suffer so bad? Oh, is it that should really be sad? Is it a misplaced melancholy? Oh.
make up your mind cause a serious time and make up your mind cause a serious time and make up your mind cause a serious time and hope you realize it. Make up your mind cause a serious time and make up your mind cause a serious time and make up your mind cause a serious.
Why my people suffer so bad? Oh, is it that should really be sad? Is it a misplaced melancholy? Oh.
Make up your mind cause a serious time and make up your mind cause a serious time and make up your mind cause a serious time and hope you realize it. Make up your mind cause a serious time and make up your mind cause a serious time and make up your mind cause a serious time and hope you realize it.
Well, it's politics time again. Are you gonna vote now? My people, me a talk. It's politics time again. Are you gonna vote now? My God. Rise, oh fallen sufferer. Rise and take your stance again. He who fights and run away will live to fight another day. It's politics time again. Are you gonna vote now? You people me a talk. It's politics time again now. Are you gonna vote now? Deal with love and not war.
Can't wait for your world to change. Better understand how to play the game. Have to take charge, control your fate. Believe in yourself, learn from your mistakes. Poverty is not a mind thing. Them are the richest, so you can't win. Woman for do if you're surviving. Make you have to wonder if you're trying. Nah, patience is a virtue. Work is for a while. Do what you're doing. Do it for your tribe. Lay a foundation so somebody else will smile. So vote now. It's all worthwhile. Go. Make up your mind cause a serious time, man. Make up your mind cause a serious time, man. Make up your mind cause a serious time, man. Ooh, hope you realize it.
It's the right and it's the duty of a citizen to vote. I upon them constitution, long time it did a joke. Made up my promises and hopeless. Ballot box must be empty, voters close. No one arm, no one chew the color of them clothes now. But some just plain greedy. No matter how we teach them, forget easier. Look, it's politics time again. Are you gonna vote now? Deal with love and not war.
Ring the alarm. Another youth is dying. Ring the alarm. Another youth is dying. Lord, don't forget one love. Don't forget about being one. Don't forget about trust. Don't forget about peace. Oh, make up your mind cause a serious time, man. Make up your mind cause a serious time, man. Make up your mind cause a serious time, man. Ooh, hope you realize it. Make up your mind cause a serious time, man. Make up your mind cause a serious time, man. Make up your mind cause a serious time, man. Ooh, hope you
Make up your mind. It is serious time. It's politics time again. How you gonna vote now? Morning, are you morning? Welcome to another program of Guyanese Morning Time. It is 7 hours 49 on the 26th day of August in the year 2025. Yes, that is 11 minutes to the 8 o'clock hour on the 26th of August. How you been? How was you yesterday? How was you last night? How you wake up feeling this morning? How optimistic or pessimistic are you that we're heading down a good road? I can tell you, I've been angry since yesterday. I'm still angry. I am still angry. And I know in me, I always try not to get vexed, as we like to say, because me vexatiousness just lasts a long time. Because every time I think about the jagabats and the weak hearts were using the authority of state to bully citizens, it pisses me off. It pisses me off. And I get vexed all over again. Especially when I consider that citizens are rocking back and accepting it in the name of being a public servant, in the name of being a scholarship recipient, in the name of being a soup drinker, in the name of simply being a spineless human being. In the name of having to eat a food, in the name of having a family to maintain. What y'all think? Kidaki Amsterdam doesn't have a family? Kidaki Amsterdam has a family that he loves dearly. and will do anything to protect and defend their dignity. And that is why I'm here every morning. What's the value of your family to you? Every child loves his or her parent or parents, but I want to feel in my mind that every child also detests a weak ass parent. How I could respect you as my father if the neighbor is always beating down on us and you can't stand up for us? How I could respect you as my father when every time the neighbor mashes my corn or our corn as a family, all you offering is appeasement? I don't think that's what our children want from us. In as much as they would like to see us live long and old lives, to be around them and their offspring, our grandchildren and Guyana and so on, they want to see us stand up to the bullies that can rob them of a bright future. And say, I'll stop this bull. Stop this nonsense about the need to play it low-key because you got a job, and the need to play it low-key because you got to live for your children. If I listen to them weak-ass reasoning, I'd rock back, drop my legs, and enjoy life with my children. But if everybody does that, then we would have a society that none of us can be comfortable in and comfortable with. How safe do you feel in your environment? How safe do you feel in your environment? And let me direct this question in particular to the young people, especially who tell themselves that WIN got an answer for them. That PPP got an answer for them. How safe do you feel in your environment? Let me come to Buxton. Just a few mornings ago, a group of people hanging out, having a social time at the back of the village, were riddled with bullets. A young man of 16 years, I think, died. Some people say in his prime. I say he didn't even start living yet. He died. A senior citizen, a 66-year-old man, I think that was his age. Forgive me if there's not age, Talibai. Was shot in the arm. The others were still nursing injuries, wounds from that evening. How safe do you think you are in your community under a government like the PPP? Or even, let me take it to the widest imagination, a government formed by WIN. How safe do you think you are? These people are traders of guns. They're traders of death. The guns in the African Guyanese communities were not supplied to the African Guyanese communities by African Guyanese residents. They might have been acquired by residents, but they were supplied by Indo-Guyanese businessmen and friends of the PPP and the PPP itself. How safe do you feel in a community where you got a so-called Don or a godfather that is in bed with the PPP or embraced by the PPP and can do residents of your community what they like, how they like, when they like, without repercussions. How safe do you feel? How safe are you in communities like those? How safe are you in a community when you and a man get a problem and he could run home and pick up an AR from under the bed and come after you or your family? How safe are you? These are not fictions of my imagination. These are realities that Guyanese citizens, especially African Guyanese citizens, have to face. They know Guyanese know what they got to face in the communities. The PPP bullies raping the children, harassing the children, taking advantage on their families. And they can't speak, they got to stay quiet. How safe do you feel under the PPP government? There's so many allegations circulating in this society against the candidate, the presidential candidate for the Win party. Like Roger Can, none of it has been proven because they controlled the police force from outside of it. And so one cannot even rely on the investigations by the police to convict or exonerate these persons or this person. Because the reality is, just as Roger Can was paying policemen and women from top to bottom, as if you were the government of Ghana, it is the same way Azudin Mohammed and the rest of the Mohammed family was paying policemen from top to bottom, as if they were the government. And you don't have to go far and look for that. Check and you will see photographs, you'll see videos of policemen and women lined up in front of Mohammed's enterprise to collect the Christmas bonus. Yeah, I could remember that. Yeah, y'all could remember that? What y'all think? Was a freak? Just because they're good human beings, they're paying what was the thing? Anyhow, I can't remember it right now. I'm gonna tell you. But Muslims basically providing gifts to the poor. I can't remember if it's zakat, the thing name. I can't remember right now. My brain a little fuzzy because I'm pissed. What do y'all think? When policemen and women were lining up in front of the Mohammeds to collect Christmas bonus and everything, with the blessings of the kings, you think it was a case of them just being charitable? It was a case of them paying to ensure protection from prosecution for any and all ills that they might commit or might have committed against the society. And so, just as though you couldn't find the evidence based on police investigations to convict Roger Khan of many of the crimes allegedly committed in this country, you can't rely on the police investigations to exonerate nor convict Azudin Mohammed, the leader of WIN, of any of the crimes allegedly involved in. But that doesn't make was a kind of peach, because he of himself admitted that he was not a peach, and perhaps still is not a peach. He might get soft now based on the environs, the environment that exists in this country right now. Might be tainted because he has been in the US jail and so on, and therefore people watching him suspiciously. This man might be a mole. This man must have made a deal with the US government to get such early release, a tap on the hand and an early release. But that doesn't make him a peach. And similarly, Ashuddin Mohammed is no peach. But what people say is, in every pound the truth, in every pound the lie, there must be an ounce of truth. So there must be some association. Something must have happened to link this individual to criminality for his name to be constantly called in criminality. And so how do you feel comfortable? How do you feel that this individual can make you safe in a society that is as unsafe as it is? The PPP certainly ain't got no protection to offer anybody except their friends, favorite, and families, like the critics. Certainly ain't got no protection to offer anybody. It is glaring. How many times have the Guyanese critics been allowed to beat up upon citizens of this country, to show total disregard for the laws of this country, and escape with a slap on his hand, a slap on the wrist? How many times? You remember the years of the PPP's ministers like Kelawan Lal and slap and strip Berry Ramsaran, taking advantage on the ordinary citizens of this country, and they have never yet faced one day before the court of law. Have you seen any changes in that, or have you seen an escalation? I certainly have seen an escalation. I learned just the other day, less than 72 hours ago. I wasn't there, so let me say it is alleged that James Bond went into BV. Or was it Pleasance? I think Pleasance. And some of the residents spoke to him in a kind of way. And he responded by pulling a gun on them. He responded by pulling a gun on them. Youth man, young lady, how safe do you feel in your community? How safe do you feel in your country? When you're ready to vote Monday morning, I want you to ask yourself those very questions. How safe am I in my community? Who has the guns proliferating my community? Who got the drugs on every street corner in my community as if it's suites being sold? Who is allowing it? Who is allowing permanent structures to be built in every street corner in my community, in front of my home, and I can't object? Devaluing my property while they're keeping those communities, the Paddlevilles and the 1 and 2 and the Little Diamond closed gated communities and so on, spick and span, well spruced up, and maintaining high value for their properties. Who has it happening? What power do you have to change it? What power do you have to ensure that you live in communities that are well taken care of and healthy? Communities that you know you can walk the streets after dark, as we like to say, without being shot by a willful or a stray bullet. Community where you can walk the streets without having to compete with the smell or the aroma of illicit drugs and oxygen. Ask yourself that. And if you believe that these things do not affect you, whether in the short, medium, or long term, let me share a story with you. And it's a hearsay story, but I know the individual, I know the environment, and so this story has merit. I understand he was a young BUXTONIAN, brilliant guy, went through CXC and everything. Where he lived is, they had a hangout joint, as we used to call it. We used to call it a ship, I think. You drinking rum, you line on the ship. You're smoking weed, you line on the ship. You had more weed smokers than rum drinkers on the ship. You gambling there on the ship, and everybody on the ship. And because he's neighbor to the ship, every afternoon he come home from school, he got on the ship on line. Succeeded at CXC and applied to the Guyanese Defense Force to become a cadet officer. And one of the things you have to do is a mandatory drug test or blood test to see what chemicals they got in it. And when he was tested, he never one day take one draw from a joint of weed. But when he was tested positive for marijuana use. Tested positive for marijuana use. There went his chances of becoming a cadet officer. I'm sharing that story to say to you. Many of you like to sit back and say, don't bother me. They got nothing to do with me. Them bad boys be them bad boys. They don't affect me like anything. Not true. Your legitimate business that you're operating in your community is impacted when badness is in your community, because nobody wants to come into your community to support your legitimate business because badness is the order of the day in your community. As I want you all to understand that when the PPP is allowing badness to happen in your community, young people, it's only you paying the price. Because it is your future, your possibility of growth and development, your possibility of expansion, your possibility of inheriting a prosperous community that is being affected. But no, we ready. Because them with the red are apparently willing to allow you to have your way, or you believe they're willing to allow you to have your way, not recognizing that they're simply encouraging you to go down a slippery slope of a cycle of poverty. Ask a young soldier man the other day, you vote? Say, yeah, man. First time voter. Yeah, I vote. So who you vote for? I vote for win. Who you think I gonna vote for? Why you vote for win? The man is a popular man. You see the man that's give people thing. You ever get anything from the man? No, you never get anything from the man. You ever depend on the man for your survival or your succor? No, you never depend on the man for your survival or your succor. Did you take time to understand who the man is? No. You just go with what seems to be popular. And that might be a failure of the adults. Because it would appear as though nobody took time to sit and talk with this young man and let him understand who really is Asudin Muhammad. Asudin Muhammad never struggled one day in his life. Never struggled one single day in his life. Win, lose, or draw, Asudin Muhammad will not hungry one single day in his life. Win, lose, or draw, the likes of Tabitha Sarabo, the likes of what's your name? This Muslim sister that left the APNU. Y'all help me. St. Louis. The likes of Sarabo Ali, the likes of St. Louis. I'm there, say, oh, that's a primus. Let me stick with it for now. They will not go broke for one single day. Nor will they be hungry for one single day. As old people say, as we didn't go with a gold spoon in the mouth. St. Louis and Sarabo Ali are guaranteed parliamentary pensions that will keep them fed. I want to consider them monk because I don't want to be misquoted, or I don't want to misquote. But my understanding is, I think Mr. Jordan did send it to me when I inquired some time ago. If you spend 10 years in Parliament, you get about 66% of the income you were getting from Parliament as a pension. Sarabo Ali served as a minister of government. It means that even if conservatively she was earning $1 million a month, conservatively, I don't know what the amount is. I just want to, I'm using that figure. Even if you were getting $1 million a month as your income, 66% of that, 2/3 of that, as a pension is $660,000. Can't go hungry for one day. I said, same goes to St. Louis. She wasn't a minister. But 66% of our parliamentary income, I'm sure, can keep her fed. You young soldier boy, you young soldier girl, you young policeman, you young policewoman. You minimum wage of $130,000 can keep you fed for a week. Assuming you got to pay rent and transportation. The APNU is offering you a minimum of 200,000. It's a good bump up. It's a good bump up. It is offering you an opportunity to come out of poverty. It is offering you an opportunity to own property. To own property that you could invest in and you could use as an investment to better your position. But y'all ain't got time to listen to that. Y'all didn't want to listen to the, y'all want to listen to, we want to win. Big up the scripts. Budum, 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 budum. This is what y'all got time for listen to. You are not listening to the messages that will empower you. And they're going to be your downfall. I give you a message of empowerment this morning for the 100th time. Aubrey Norton government is going to give you, every single one of you, a free plot of land. Guaranteed cash transfer at least once yearly. There is a pathway out of poverty. You got land and you got income with a manageable cost of living. You could create savings and you could create investments. And so you could get something to hand down to your children and your next generation. And so they ain't got to be squatters. All of our people who are squatters around this country right now could hand over to the next generation a future free of them squatting. Which other political party or leadership has offered you that in your lifetime in this country? And note I'm talking to young people especially. And even some of the old heads. And I bring it back into the context of young people because Forbes Burnham did offer that to citizens of this country. They weren't getting a free plot of land, but they were getting cooperatives. And through cooperatives, they were building communities and building legacy. I like to listen to Saiku when he is on stage talking about the fact that this rent-to-own thing was done before. So not nothing new by Aubrey Norton. It's a policy that he believed in that came from the years of Forbes Burnham rent-to-own. Listen to Saiku and he will tell you how he benefited from it, even as an adult. Because he grew up in a home that his mother was paying, I think. I can't remember if it's $3,800 a month or something. But there came a time when she paid that lump sum and they had property. So yeah, stop thinking about a motorbike. The man giving people things. We giving you, well, you don't even understand. You're being given expenses. You're being given liabilities. I mean, what word are you using? I didn't know what's the difference between a liability and an asset. But a man give you a motorbike, you gotta maintain it. A man give you a car, you gotta maintain it. You gotta find money to keep it functional. Otherwise, in a few months, you'll get old broke down motorbike or old broke down car. And then you got to turn to somebody else another handout. I don't know how else to explain to young people especially. And there got some adults, you would believe that age teaches wisdom. And you believe that age is experience. People always say age is not experience. And you're seeing it a lot in this society. You got some public servants who some people might refer to as professionals. People who've been in the system for a while. People who are supposedly educated. But they say not smart. They're talking about voting for win. Big people, what example really you setting for your next generation or your current generation? You voting for win. You mean you live in a society under a rock? That is where you live all the years of your life, your adult life? You are living under a rock? You are not, and were not aware of the relationship between the Mohammeds and the PPP? You are not aware of the fact that they were supporting and facilitating each other's bad behavior? You don't see how the Mohammeds have and the PPP have contributed to your communities being unsafe and your children lives being at risk every single day? You don't even have self-love. You don't even have self-love if you're going to tell me that you're considering a vote for the PPP or a vote for win. Because if you had self-love and you were paying attention and you were utilizing that education that we say you got because you're a public servant, etc., then you would have recognized that both of these options are bad for you and they're bad for your next generation. But you then you're talking about win and influencing your children, but win. I got a big cup I drink it from. It's a black one, not a red one. It marks Super Daddy, it marks PPP. Or even APNU. You are your children's teachers. You are the example that they should be following. And if you set the right examples, then they ain't going out there to listen to nobody calling them script. And then going out there to listen to anybody telling them win. Because you have already planted the seed in them. They already understand what win represents and what the PPP represents. That both of them represent the same thing. Death to the black man. I said up. Death to the oppressed. I say that. Some of y'all might be thinking physical death, but there are so many forms of death. Definitely a lot of you, let me don't put myself in the bracket, going to remain financially dead and impoverished in this country if you don't make the right choice on the 1st of September. Which political movement in the history of this country has offered you a get out of poverty card like the Aubrey Norton-led APNU is offering you right now? Even if I don't like Aubrey Norton because he face stiff, he don't smile and he don't dance like a robot and he short and he ugly and all that y'all saying about him. I don't concern about he. I concern about what is in it for me, what is in it for this nation. And check across this sphere, you will see every commentator who is, I mean, I don't think they're going biased people and impartial people, but every commentator who is fair, every commentator who is fair, is one thing they agree on. The APNU has offered the best manifesto to Guyanese. They've read the manifestos. The APNU manifesto stands tall above all the others. Yeah, but Granger, the promises on Granger didn't deliver. This is Aubrey Norton we're talking about. This is David Hines we're talking about. This is Joretta France, Ganesh Paul Kidaki, Amsterdam. We're talking about. Can any of you actually sit back and imagine me being in government and the people not benefiting from the commitments that we have made? Y'all could actually sit back and imagine that. Well, I sending a word out so that even Harvey Norton knows if he didn't know. And I wouldn't be sitting easy. I wouldn't be sitting easy. I tell you all, I was a teacher. I taught at IP, Institute of Professional Education, owned by a man named Faziz Mohammed, or something like that. Can't remember me. Fazal, I think. Right on my report. And when I went there as an ordinary teacher of language and a couple other subjects I recognize, I wanted paying teachers NIS. I wanted paying teachers what I consider fair wage. And I, being me, started making representation for that. It's so that the principal left in the middle of a term because he had an incident, a thing that involved the police, and so they couldn't keep him on job. And I became the acting principal. And I immediately stepped up the call. The least y'all could do is pay these teachers NIS. The least y'all could do is pay these teachers NIS. And by the time I left IP, I can't tell you what I'm after, but by the time I left IP, NIS was being paid for teachers. NIS was being paid for teachers. Phoenix Academy. I tell you all these stories so y'all could understand my mind, my heart, my representation, my love for people. Phoenix Academy is located at LBI towards the seawall side. The owner is a girl named Tricia. An Indo-Guyanese girl, lady named Tricia. She was a workhorse at IP. She worked with me, alongside me, and with me as acting principal at IP. And when she called me one day, she said, Mr. Amsterdam, I'm thinking about opening my own school, you know. I said, go for it. Because I know your work ethic. Go for it. What support you want? This is what you need to do. This is a guidance. And truth be told, if Tricia were to come here now, and she wants to be honest, she can tell you. Today there is that school, Phoenix Academy. I hope it, well, I'm not even sure if it still exists. I can't tell when last I passed there and looking. I'm saying that to say to you that I live what I preach. I will always defend people and their right to growth and development. So don't tell me, but Granger did this and this. I wasn't part of Granger government. Let me tell you the truth. At least that's how I see it. Granger never extracted my name from the list to go to the National Assembly. And I guess you can imagine why. Because he knows. He knew then and he knows now. I ain't the type to just go with the flow. I perhaps might be considered uncontrollable, and since I am uncontrollable, keep the bottom far from me, because he ain't gonna give me an easy time. So I saying it loud and clear. Everybody risk of Aubrey and saying I don't want this man anywhere close to my government. Because he already sung in the alarm that he ain't gonna sit and allow me to not deliver on the commitments that I've made to the Guyanese people. Why y'all are going the government in deliver this thing? What has the PPP delivered to you? What has Azruddin Mohammed demanded that the PPP deliver to you? Because I'm saying to you again, I don't think it's 9 months. Y'all could check the timeline, but I don't think it's 9 months since Mohammed and the PPP fall apart. Or some people in the PPP. Let me make that clear. Because there's no way Mohammed and the entire PPP is at rat. Even if he's at rat with a couple of people. But let me stay on topic. Who was offered you, young people, a pathway to get you out of poverty that doesn't make you dependent on them and doesn't make you a stooge to them? When you own a piece of land, you get a title for it as your land. When the law says that you will get cash grant yearly, it's the law. When the law says that you, as a young person, can apply to the Small Business Bureau for training to become a young contractor and support to become a young contractor, it's the law. Y'all want opportunities backed by law, or y'all want opportunities based on somebody wins and fancies? They wake up this morning and they believe I want $10 so you for become slave catchers, and so I'm going to give out 10 mini contracts to them, and then I'm going to tell them they got to be slave catchers to continue to get these contracts. This is what y'all want? Well, if this is what y'all go for it. Cheers to the big cup. This black cup full with African pride and love for humanity. What are we prepared to do to turn this nation around come September 1st? Every vote, every single vote should be directed to one part of the ballot. APNU at the top, APNU at the bottom. And I'm saying to you again, don't just vote and go home and sit back. Be battle ready. Be battle ready. Be prepared to defend your vote to the death if it comes to that. There are some key areas I want you all to pay attention to. I'm going to give you them by names as we go along. Number one on the list is Straspe. Why Straspe? Is that they see Anil Nandalal, ask David Hines and Amna Ali and Bassey Williams. Is that they see Anil Nandalal? By a minibus where people are changing their clothes and collecting ID cards and going to vote. There are plans to execute the same operation this year, this time around. Flood the streets of Straspe and be vigilant. Watch them before bored wife wake and make it impossible for them to change clothes and collect fraudulent ID cards and go and vote fraudulently. Quarantine Borbis. Make every Surinamese that comes into this country close to election uncomfortable. Every single one of them, make them uncomfortable. They are coming to upturn your democracy. Region 6, every stranger you see, make them uncomfortable. Interrogate them like you own the turf. Let them understand it's not going to be like the last time. It's not life as usual. Monrepo was another hot spot, and in Nanlag turn up there again. Baronians, in Buxtonians, when you don't vote, occupy the territory. Make it impossible for them to execute their plans. Annandale Secondary, Annandale Secondary, Annandale North, Annandale West. It used to be by Cetus Bar. I think it's now Tasha Bar, they call them. The PPP got a freedom house right in the stretch there. So you can understand it's the operation based on corrupting the election. Occupy the territories. It's your right as a citizen to be any part of this country. When you have done vote, form yourself in large groups that you're comfortable with, and go and present yourselves in these troubled areas or these suspected troublesome areas. Lend tactical support to your scrutineers and other representatives in the polling place. Don't wait to know Aubrey Norton and David Hines and Kidaki himself. Don't wait to know leader after today to tell you what to do. I am telling you what your mandate and responsibility is. Show a willingness to defend your democracy, a willingness to defend your vote. Because come hell or high water, the PPP must go. And I'd rather know that they go through legitimate means than foul means. The Guyana Police Force and the Guyana Defense Force can do you nothing as a citizen of this country for walking the streets of this country, even if it's on election. "200 feet away from the polling station, you're within the confines of the law. Unlawful assembly, I can't remember the number of persons, but I think it's about 20. So what happened? 3 yards stand up over the corner there, and 3 yards stand up over the corner there, and another 5 yards go down, and it's a democratic right to be in the streets of this country any day. But let your presence be felt so that the Anandalals and the Arjuns, they know themselves, and the Richards, they know themselves, and the Sureshes, they know themselves, and the Nicolases, they know themselves. Let them know that you're watching them. Let them know that you have eyes on them. And this time, a long time. Let's say int to Beniba make Kwashiba take notice. Let them take notice. Young people, what else can I say to you? A golden opportunity is being presented to you. Old people, middle-aged people who have not achieved anything in your life and you're willing to gamble the future of your children by gambling with the PPP and win, I ask you to rethink the strategy. The APNU is offering you surety. You're working for less than $400,000 a month, you get a free house lot. You get direct cash transfer from the resources of this country. You get all kinds of support for your children to go to school, for your children to go to tertiary institutions, for your children even to go to law school. You ain't gonna sell your soul. You ain't gonna sell your next generation. You just gotta make the right choice and vote for APNU. That's all my encouragement is to you this morning. The lines are opened. 622-5933 is the number to call. It's politics time again. How you gonna vote?
Yes, good morning to you and all my black brothers and sisters in Guyana. Happy Tuesday. First thing first, I love to give credit where credit belongs to. That is what my grandmother teach me. Always give credit to people. Let them know that what they do is good and continue to do the good things. My credit going out to Mark. I would call him my good friend this morning, Mark, because I read on your page that Mark endorsed my leader now. It's not too late for you to do the good thing. Now I will start back to listen to his program. Because George Bush tell me one thing before he leave office. He said, Flash, who is not with me against me? And I'm living by his words. Move on, Flash. I'm in care of damn about those people who with PPP. Because them are fulfill, them black men have no fulfill the wall of God. Let the dead bury the dead. I'm focusing now to those who with win. Because they got to know that win did not in them corner 2015. We didn't vote for them for change. Win vote for PPP, for continue to keep them in punishment and appearance. 2020, when Mohammed vote for Jagdio, and what Jagdio did, he sent home them parents, them grandparents, them uncle and says, hey, you guys cannot work in PPP government because I'm going to give out information. Let that young man know who tell you when Mohammed does give things. When he starts to give things, my black brother, thank God for the American government. Let the Guyanese people know he is part of the $52 billion smuggler what the white ambassador who Sarah Lynn take over from. That man keep a press conference and said in Jagdio time, $52 billion smuggler in gold to America. What about pounds? What about Canadians? These young people have to know that Jagdio is using them to protect him. But though if he win a seat in parliament, Abinatin got to take him to court, got to arrest him, because parliament worker could get arrested if they do nonsense. So he cannot continue to shield between young men and young women. I got to stop your nonsense. That man never vote for bring change for black people's life. You know, when I was in Guyana, when David Granger become the leader, the first time leader in border market, people was mad, black people were mad. Then we rather Abinatin is years. People was waiting for Abinatin to lead them to victory. And now is the time. Give it to him, young people in the blue. Stop your nonsense. Mohammed going to be the next Jagdio and next Jim Jones. What Mohammed bring to the table? You don't even know which university Mohammed went to. But thank God that the man with 19 charges, still are you playing? He went to IFLOC in Georgetown, the IFLOC, you know. But what Mohammed went? What Mohammed do for several years? Mohammed start to give out things because he know. Jagdio tell him all the class, hey, the American government going to sanction you. That is when he starts to give things. Remember, Jagdio sent police and Mohammed bridge for line up for money. Why Jagdio allowed that? We got to keep banging on our young people in the blue. Are you hearing like all the 900 Americans died? What James Jones give them Kool-Aid, but you will not get Kool-Aid. You'll get green grass. Green grass, mom, it's gonna give you okay. And to that boy got to stop his nonsense. He moving too fast. Somebody got to stop him. I said, I live and let others live. James Bond said a word, it is sit well with Flash Garden. We must deliver Region 4 to Ali. But James Bond is so lucky, he's still smiling. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your call. The line remain open. 62593 is the number to call.
Brother Kidaki, morning viewers. Morning, all writing Guyanese. Brother Kidaki and viewers, this message is to our African brothers.
Call you on. Good morning.
Morning, Kidaki. I'm going to say it like my Nigerian influencer friend said. He said, for too long, we Africans have been dying for what we want. And most of the time, we die for what people enjoy after we die. It's time for us to, you know what, fill in the blank, people, for what we want. We won't die this time. We will make things happen by making other people fill in the blank for what we want. Because this is our time that we going to take what we want. We won't go to the grave not having it, and let others enjoy it. And not only let others enjoy it, those that are enjoying it are not our type. And it's time we get that kind of thinking to move forward. Right? To the police and them who think that you're going to take us for die for what we want, different things could happen. People ain't taking it no more. It is too much, and this is the last ship. This is the last ship left on that country, and we ain't leaving it to run away from us. And we're gonna leave behind. It's about time. That's all I have to say.
Thank you for that call. The lines remain open. 6225933 is the number to call.
Sisters. Because, you know, some of us just forget things too quick, you know, man. Yes, my African brothers and sisters in this country. Come on, man. This is the time that we have to rally around. And especially Guyanese people. Come on, when was Adriana murdered? Actually, 100% of the people that stand up for that girl murdered in this country. Actually, I say it's 100%. Actually, 100% people stood up for this girl murder.
Caller.
Hello, good morning, Brother Kadaki.
Good morning
My
to you.
contribution this morning is voters' education. I call it voters' education. Vote wisely. Hello? My contribution this morning is voter education. Vote wisely. Vote for the future of your children. What the manifesto that the APNU has and Compton RB has for the future of this country is going to benefit you from the time you're born, your child born, to the time you're ready to die. You're going to get first thing, your child going to get proper education when they're going to school. They're going to be given school grants. The teacher going to be paid properly, so you don't have to find extra lessons for them. I remember paying $4,000 to $5,000 a month for my child lesson fees. The teachers don't be paid properly, so you got skilled teachers, well-trained teachers to teach your children at school. You're going to get school meals. You know how it is for the morning with the traffic, not for the children going to school hungry. At least when you know the rich they get something in the stomach, they're going to learn. Empty barrel don't stand up. Right about now, the people don't have those things. So yeah, no other party got a manifesto like the APNU. Come on, people. What y'all really looking for? What you looking for? I wish if I had a house flat at the age of 18. Because I couldn't afford it. Your life starts. You get in a free house. That's like enough people are working for 400,000 already month come in this country. Yes. So please vote APNU. Look at your children's future. Look at your future. Look at a better Guyana. We don't want a Guyana like how Venezuela end up. Look at your children's future. Because then you got another time, you know. Y'all remember Adriana Young. Y'all remember the Henry Bice. It could be you next. In the next term. Y'all remember these things. Y'all remember how much they them teacher people on the road and your children are no teacher in school. Y'all remember the people from Morocco. It could be you next. The people from Ilford. The people from Linden. After now, no justice. Y'all remember these things and now you're going the back. Now play chip and let people come confuse your eye. Now let people confuse all you. And don't I see some people running wrong. To vote for them is a vote for your APNU. No way. No way. They ain't got no other party but APNU. And rest cannot make it. The camp, no one, the parliament can't change your life. It can't change your life with one seat in parliament because the government don't listen to one seat. We gotta get a force. So APN, you have to win this election to bring about a change. Thank you, Brother Kadaki.
Thank you for that call. This person was calling me persistently. I couldn't even get to play the voice notes. Here we go again. Calling on, good morning.
Morning to the whole of Guyana. Guyana, this is election season. And I want to add some strength to what the sister that just talked and encouraging everyone to vote APNU. It is so important. We see with the PPP doing, we see with the good, we see with the do, we see with the doing.
Too long them PPP fatten up while we beg. Milk and honey gone, but we still drink dregs. Them build big house while school roof fall, and poor man crying when rain start fall. Them take oil, gold and timber too, but the children hungry tell me what to do. From Burba straight to let them side, it's only lies them they're trying to hide. It's been too long, too long. The PPP must go. We've been silent while them do wrong. Too long, too long. Them teething with a flute and a song. Too long, too long. We paid the price, they played the dawn. Guyana rise, we must be strong. This can't go on. Nah, this can't go on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Contract sign in the middle of the night. No tender, no board, just bribe and spite. Them cousin, them friend, them pot the deal. While pensioners can't afford one meal. The court slow, the press hush, hush. And critics end up on the bus. You talk too loud, they label you bad. But silence now gon' drive we mad. It's been too long, too long. The PPP must go. We've been watching while they plunder and gone. Too long, too long. It's only rich men, the cheering on. Too long, too long. We dream dead while they live strong. Guyana rising with freedom song. This can't go wrong. Nah, this can't go on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who owned the trucks? Who get the land? Who signed the checks with blood on hand? Oil money flow, but not to we. Where the hospital, where the subsidy? It's been too long, too long. The PPP must go. We suffering wrong. Stand tall. Time for change comes strong. Too long, too long. The PPP must go, the nation mourning song. One people, one nation, one destiny. Arise up and move along. This can't go on. Nah. Justice, justice, justice now. We tired of bowing down. Freedom, freedom, freedom now. Time to reclaim we crown. Django, justice, justice, justice.
You can get
Good morning, how may I help
civic,
you?
but for the best cuts of chicken, beef, pork.
Who is this? Stop naman. You gotta get the word in naman. The calling time on this program starts from about 8:30. So this is not the calling time. Good, buddy. Good. Uh-huh. Morning, are you morning? Welcome to another program of Guyanese Morning Time. It is 7 hours 45 on the 27th day of August in the year 2025. I wonder if Ali can speak that fluently. How you been? How was it yesterday? How was it last night? How you feeling this morning? I'll tell you personally, I just sit down and I feel, listening to some of the comments and reflecting on Ghana, I am very emotional. My eyes are wet, actually. I say, wait, man, how you feeling so burdened? You like Christ the few hours before they crucify you or something? Why you behaving like that? But I feel pain for this nation. I feel pain for this nation. It's as if there is no relief for any of us in this nation. Every day is something more. And folks like me, we carry, people don't understand. And I guess people will never understand until they put themselves in our shoes and say, walk a mile in my shoe. Walk a mile in my shoe. And then is when you will understand the burden that folks like myself carry for this nation. It is really, really burdensome. I see somebody, whatever her name, somebody masquerading perhaps with some Indo-Guyanese name, or it might be an Indo-Guyanese masquerading with somebody else's name, and Prasad. Kirakia would like to vote for Aubrey and Joetta, but according to you, I expect to get beat up by you and people like you if we lose. Well, I said to Ann Prasad, I immediately recognize that you are being ingenious. You're being deceptive. You're being pretensive. Because I can't remember. And you could show me the evidence. where I say on any of my broadcasts that Ann Prasad, or people like Ann Prasad, because she's talking about people like me, will get beat up if anybody loses an election. So there's a PPP propaganda right there. I would like you to vote for Aubrey Norton and Gerardo Fernandez and the APNU and Prasad, because we are guaranteeing you safety. We guarantee you a safe and progressive society. We are guaranteeing you an ordered society, a society that thrives on law and not lawlessness. But you don't want to hear that. You want to sell a story that says that they got a set of hooligans and a set of thugs on the opposition side, that if they lose an election, they're going to beat up on people like you, meaning Kuli people. And note I choose to say Kuli people, because I refer to them opposition supporters as thugs and hooligans. This is a synonym for black people. Don't come to me. I am never afraid to address race and race issues frontally. Me ain't got no problem with that. Kuli and black man is part of our vernacular, everyday language in this country. Since me a little boy grew up, we talk about Kuli and black man. I can be as respectful as you would like me to be, but you got to reciprocate. I have no interest in beating up any member of this society, not any citizen of this country. I don't have interest in beating up. You know, a lot of y'all come here and y'all aggravate me and make me talk things that sometimes I don't even want to talk. When your government, your friends in government, the PPP, had the Phantom Squad and the Killing Squad and the Black Clothes Squad and all kinds of squad killing people left, right, and center and causing others to kill in retaliation and so on. Many days I sat and I cried tears. I cried tears, especially when people were killed senselessly. Like I say, if it's a war, people got to defend themselves in a war. So when the so-called Taliban were fighting against the killing squads of the government and so on, who dead? Because it's a war. But when, for example, I think 2 Indian men were coming from the airport or going to the airport, and they were executed outside of Buxton. And I heard of it, I cried tears because I said they were innocent passers-by. I cried tears to the innocent. I feel for the innocent. But if you're in a war, you're in a war. If you're in a battle, you're in a battle. Bodies are expected to drop when people go to war. I know what y'all don't understand. For the most part, the people who send others to war, they don't suffer the consequences of those wars because they are usually safe in some kind of bunker or something protected by the bodies of other people. And so, on Prasad, let me tell you this. Say to your friends and criminal cabal and Kavachamites in the PPP, let them take all the necessary steps to stop a war from brewing in this country over this election. Tell them, Kidaki Amsterdam says, that instead of utilizing their energies to try to formulate plans to rig these elections and to rob citizens of the legitimacy of their vote, let them formulate plans to ensure free and fair elections, and so peace will reign in this country. And so the people to deal with your fear of being beaten up are the people who you're quietly supporting in the wickedness in this country. Not me. Because I ain't plan beating up nobody. But I plan defending my vote if it got to come to that. So you tell your friends in the government to tell Suresh and Arjun and Richard and Nicholas and Tita, tell all of them ID cards that they got and hundreds of $millions in the house to pay people to vote fraudulently, tell all of them, carry back the money and throw away the ID cards. They're going to guarantee peace in this country. I name names because I got names. Just as how critics could sit down on the program and tell people that Mohammed got some house at Grove Public Road or wherever, a safe house where they got billions of dollars. According to him, I think he said $40 billion. I am telling you that Suresh, Arjun, Richard, Nicholas, Tita, and the list will continue. All of them got hundreds of millions of dollars to try to buy votes with people's ID cards. Tell them, and Prasad, that in a recipe for peace, tell them that instead of sending a jail to small contractors in Buxton and around this country to talk about how they are going to prove their loyalty to the PPP fraudulently and otherwise, is not a recipe for peace. Tell them I say that when I just talking about people showing their loyalty with body cameras, hidden body cameras because they can't use phone cameras, tell them that is not a recipe for peace in this country. Tell the international observers, tell the ERC, tell whoever you have to tell that those are not recipes for peace in this country. I said to the citizens of this nation already, when you go out and vote, form yourself into groups and be vigilant. You know where Tita live? You know who's Tita? She in Denhamsel. Denhamsel people, form yourself into groups and watch Tita with all your eyes. She got hundreds of millions of dollars in her house to buy ID cards and votes. Arjun and Richard, they live in Traspy. Richard has sell clat in Starbrook Market. Y'all tickle me this morning and Prasad, so I'm going to whine for you. And since critics could sit down and talk about who got 40 billions in the building, I tell you, you have hundreds of millions there. And what it is intended to be used for. Let me tell you something. I love my BUXTONIAN people. I love and I respect my BUXTONIAN people. But let me tell you something. You see, y'all in this village, in this Buxton village, that play with me freedom and are willing to sell us out so that you could drive a high-end vehicle or you could get a small contract, be very careful. Be very careful. Be very careful. I said to y'all already, I am willing to die for what I believe in. So y'all don't think any intimidation, any talk about guns and killing gonna bother me. I done that already for all I care. Because with this PPP in government and this PPP in government again, I did already. All of y'all were hosting a jail at y'all bottom house and y'all neighbor bottom house and hosting the people at y'all bottom house to concoct wickedness against the people of this nation and against the people of this village. Be very careful. Everybody got a right to decide how they want to vote, but nobody got a right to corrupt other people's vote. Nobody has a right to corrupt other people's vote. And if you're going to sit and you're going to conspire with this wicked and corrupt and thieving government to rig an election against us, and we know, I got a problem with you. Because you've created a problem for me. So, and Pasada, tell you again, tell them that all of the maneuverings will not contribute to a peaceful resolution of the elections in this country. I don't care how much forces they got stand up. I don't care how much Southern Command they got in the oceans. I don't care. If it comes to me defending my vote, I'm ready and I'm willing. I battle ready. The rest of Guyana should be battle ready. You know, and Prasad is talking about being beaten up. That's the voice of the Indo-Guyanese. I want you all to use that same voice to say to this Indo-Guyanese dominated government of wickedness, stop the wickedness. Let the elections be free and fair. Who wins, wins. We will be treated as citizens nevertheless. In fact, I'm saying to you, you will get a better deal under the APNU than you will get under the very PPP that you're supporting in the wickedness. Tell them though. Tell them though, may the best man win. Let the elections be held freely and fairly, under clear and unambiguous rules, and let the rules be followed, and nobody tries to circumvent the rules, and whoever wins, wins, and we will hold them accountable. But don't come and tell me you want to vote for Harry Norton, but you're scared because I say you're going to get beat up if Harry Norton loses. Go and tell the people at Freedom House that I say that if they rig this election, there ain't going to be peace in Guyana because we ain't going to sit back and accept it. And if you see yourself as part of those who are going to stand up to defend the PPP and their wickedness, and you come to the forefront, then you're going to get beat up. Or it's going to be a fight between you and us. You will not be an innocent bystander anymore. You will be a part of the fight because you come to the forefront to fight for the PPP. Say all is fear in love and war. And I like to say politics too, because politics is war. So y'all could pay Tita a visit. And that's why she don't take them hundreds of $1 million that she got in the house and help out poor people in the Amstel. Sometimes I just wonder where the Robin Hoods of this country are. It's 2 minutes past the 8 o'clock hour. I promised yesterday I was going to look at the cultural policy of the coalition. so that young people who are creatives can understand what is in store for them and how their intellectual property rights will be handled in an APNU government or in a country led by the APNU. You know, I listened to that young man yesterday about his interaction with those over at the Blue Party. How he did his song and he submitted his song and they love it and they're using it. And instead of respecting him by hiring him to do the live performances, they have allowed others to perform his content on the stage. You know, disappointed I was and still am. Very, very, very disappointed. Because one of the leaders of the Blue Party, Odessa Primus, is a creative herself. Odessa has been in the arts for ever so long. And Odessa knows the challenges and the disrespect that creatives face in this country. And the upward battle they have had since Noah was a boy to have their intellectual properties respected. Odessa knows that. And to hear that Odessa is a part of a team that has shortchanged a young creative has to be a disappointment. A very, very, very big disappointment for me. I ain't going to be part of any team that is doing wrong against the people that I pledge to support, that I pledge to represent, and shut my mouth. It's not going to happen. They could kick me to the curb, but once I'm there, even at the curb, they will hear my voice in representation for the people. That is what I want to see in leadership. Not self-serving people. You see me? I've said to people before, those who joined this program from the time I started it with 2 viewers must have heard me say it a million times. As a youngster, I was encouraged by villagers to campaign to be a member of the Boxing Falls NDC, to be a councillor at least. Well, boxing people like to be chairman. And I've always said to them, not me. I have dreams and aspirations. And I don't want, when I have started to realize my dreams and aspirations, when they have started to come to fruition through my hard work, people point a finger at me to say, you achieved it because you're thieving from the people. That has always been my mantra. And so here I am today, in national politics, offering to serve and have been serving. But I'm comfortable in myself. I'm comfortable with where I am. I have a few more years on my side that, if utilized wisely, will increase my degree of comfort without having to be dishonest to anybody or anything. And that gives me the right, I always say, to talk hard. And I love that right. I also love that freedom that I could tell people what I want, when I want, how I want, because They ain't gonna not know me. Me in government will be no different. So even if you kick me to the curb, it will still be me. I still know I could get up and eat in the morning and go to bed with a clean conscience at night. And that is what I treasure the most. I still know that I can be of service to people with or without political power. And that is what brings me joy. But all you see jumping up and pushing up yourself and say, I want to lead, I want to lead, I want to lead. And when people examine y'all, all you're there upon is self-aggrandizement and self-servitude. Be very careful of what you do to your fellow human beings. Because you they come into. Here is a creative who should be representing the interest of creatives because you know the struggles of a creative. You might say you lose his job by simply doing that song. He was victimized. And after you learned of his victimization, you called him. You listen to his story, you listen to his song, you adapted his song, you told him about copyright and that kind of thing. But yet act contrary to that advice. What kind of human beings some of y'all is? So I said I'm going to discuss his blackout. I said I'm going to discuss the APNU's cultural policy. Me. Y'all see me? Or not? Somebody put in the comment if you could see me. I dark like that. Talk to me. Can you see me? I'm not seeing myself. Oh, I think I recognize what's going on. Am I right? Let me see what's going on here. Like I gone for channel. But you can hear me. I'm sure you can hear me. I can't see myself. I wonder what happened there. Anyway, let me check the camera and see. Let's see the challenges we just got in this country. Okay. Give me a minute. I'm going to get it right. Oh, y'all see me and I can't see myself. I like see me. I got to want to see me. This is magical. Anyhow, let me talk. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I can leave this program and go and put on the generator, but I really need a mood. Y'all tell me, I can take y'all advice. What y'all want? I should go and put on the generator or I should continue just like that? I'm waiting for the advice. Because I don't know what's going on. Sometimes this thing saps your energy. Okay. Let's say don't put on the generator yet. Right, good. We might get a little electricity back just. No one knows. The land of Ghana. Flash Garden. I like your advice, but you know what? Me never get up. I gotta use my phone light. The other thing is, listen, I got backup light somewhere, I got lights. But sometimes I just can't be bothered. I'm being very honest with you. Sometimes I can't just be bothered. What's important is that you get a message, whether they see me or not. I mean, some of y'all like admire me, no? I got no teeth now. Y'all like admire me with my no teeth. All right, that's a good thing. I'm sure that even if I get old and cold, somebody will still want to admire me. So that's a good thing. Yes. Ocean's cultural policy. Man, I really my gap on this generator. Maybe. Yeah, give me a minute. Like I for help. When you take away children them, you could harass them ever so often. Right? So keep that one in mind. I have no fear. I don't think my children will ever get fed up with me. We have a very good relationship. So with that in mind, I got the advantage of taking advantage of them every now and again. Yeah. Bear with me for a minute. And I'm muting, so y'all don't mind my business. All right, so you see, good advice. Don't put it on here. The light is back. Yeah, so we're gonna talk about cultural policy. We getting some rain to anyhow, we talking. Imagine we got about 96 hours or so. I ain't counting today though. About 96 maybe 120 hours or so to the election. And the PPP can't get electricity right yet. In 5 years, they can't get electricity right. When the coalition of Granger was on its way to solving that electricity puzzle. Let me call it a puzzle because the PPP got it looking like a puzzle. A brilliant Jamaican engineer or former manager in electricity sector of Jamaica at Common was running GPL. I was doing such a great job. But with him there, I guess the PPP believe that they can't thief, like how they got Kesh Nandlal thieving and signing all kind of corrupt deals to own the electricity company of this country, even if the PPP is out of government. I want you to pay attention to that. Every time the PPP is in government, it sells itself state assets. So that even when it is out of government, it continues to suck the blood out of the citizens of this country through the income of those assets. The 10% shares in GT&T gone. GPC gone. Printers gone. A whole lot of state lands controlled by NISIL gone. All the lands alongside the highways that they are commissioning gone. But Ms. Prasad didn't see though. She doesn't have brain enough to think about that. She's telling me about who gonna beat you up and who threatened to beat you up. Stay in your house. Go vote for the APNU. Go in your house. You got the ears of the PPP bullies and thieves. Tell them what they are doing will not guarantee peace in this nation. Do that. And before I go to the cultural policy, I think we could run a little late this morning until I get hungry. I don't hungry already, but I just be my chief. Don't mind somebody tell me be a chief is a certain kind of people, but I don't be my chief. Hear me. All those of you at sheriff security and amalgamated security and this security and that security, all the PPP paramilitary groups, let me address y'all. And I'm being very specific. Let me address you black security officers with those companies. Understand the importance of knowing your place and knowing your role on elections day and after. I remember in 2020, Sheriff Security sent its security personnel to stand guard and play sentry and protector of certain communities along these coastlines. I remember that. Let me tell y'all, according to Wayne, let me tell y'all, black gun holders in Indo-Guyanese security companies know your place and know your time. When a goatee gun another man hole, you left you open. You live in our communities, you dwell in our communities. Up until now, you are safe in our communities. Let me keep it away. If the PPP wants to break war with the citizens of this country using the armed forces, let the armed forces and the citizens of this country fight to the death. Mind your own farm yard. Mind your own farm yard. As Takumo Ogonse might say, point those guns in the right directions. Do not let filthy lucre or the promise of filthy lucre be an incentive for you to mistreat and ill-treat and wrong your fellow human beings. Don't do it. Yes, I know you got precept. Every black gun holder, according to Wayne Archer in the security service, is supposed to have a precept. Because in order for you to carry a firearm as a security officer, you have to have the blessings of the Ghanaian police force. The security officers, you swear to an oath, you have a precept, you have the power of arrest. It's the only way you could function as a security officer. That doesn't make you a police. It does not make you a police. Let police do policing job. It's the same thing that has a young man from this community in jail right now because the police pin a murder on him. Police chasing a man through a community that he was a security officer. Police licking shot, he lick shot, he say he lick shot in the air. Next thing you hear is he shoot and kill the man, according to the police. If he had respected his role as a security officer, even if we want to call it a guard, and keep his gun in his holster, he could not have been in that problem. I warn y'all, black gun holders in Indo-Guyanese security companies. Know your place and time. Jagdio say he got the armed forces ready to confront the citizens of this nation. Let the citizens of this nation and the armed forces deal with the confrontation. You're a citizen too. You should be on the side of the ordinary citizens that are going to be confronted by the armed forces. Because again, I'm repeating, you and all of them in the joint forces, in the armed forces, live in communities like all of us live in communities. When a goatee there, another man hole, left he own open. I rest my case. For the sister who's concerned that she's going to get beat up after the election, I'm assuring you again, the elections are free and fair and not fraudulent in this country. They ain't got any discord to happen. You ain't gotta be worried about who gonna beat you. So tell your friends and family and favorite, as criminal as they are in the PPP, keep it free and fair. I said, talking to some young people on TikTok the other night, from where I sit, I would scrap the joint services vote and let them start over. Let them start over. Even if they have to go to the regular places of poll and vote on election day, let them start over. Because if you have the joint services vote, how many of them? Maybe 15,000, I can't remember if there's so much. If you have this joint services vote in actuality is a sample of what will take place on election day. And if that sample of what will take place on election day is showing you already problems because extra votes are turning up in places where they ought not to be, and missing votes are turning up in places where they ought not to be, what do you expect? Multiply that. By the so-called voting population according to the voters list, and see how many times that problem will be compounded. So many times over that problem is compounded. And so Jacob is telling me, we ready? We ready for an election? You're ready to cause chaos in this country. That's what you're ready to do. Jacob is telling us, that they are short of presiding officers. They are short of presiding officers, but they don't see that as a problem. They're ready for elections Monday. Presiding officers are the people who are responsible for the overall functioning of the polling stations. They are the head honchos in charge. And they're telling us we don't have enough presiding officers because people have declined the job because they said they are fearful of taking all of that responsibility for little money, and any screw up, they could end up in jail. They decline in the job. And we don't have a problem because on that day we will be moving people around. Now, if a presiding officer is responsible for the functioning of this office, and you remove that presiding officer from this office to another office, isn't it a fact that this office where you remove the presiding officer from is also going to be short of a presiding officer? This is my theory. The PPP and GCOM has concocted a plan to move presiding officers that they know they have already have in the back to corrupt this election to places where they want the elections corrupted. Let me repeat it. I have concluded that GCOM's intention is to move corrupt presiding officers from place to place to continue to corrupt the election in keeping with their will for the PPP. There's no recipe for peace. There's no recipe for free and fair elections. And any election that is not free and fair in this country ain't going to result in peace. So my friend Annie Prasad, or whoever her name, tell GCOM, tell PPP, revisit the plan. Tell them, we are on to them. Tell them, revisit the plan. It didn't make sense. It ain't a sensible plan. I already see, or I have already seen, what I consider chaos. Vishnu Prasad is his name. The stuttering, bumbling CEO of GCOM say that voter turnout for the joint services was 83%. Vincent Alexander, perhaps the only man I trust at the commission, on the commission, said it was 70-something%, I think. How the two of them get different percentage turnout, looking at the same data in front of them? How? I trust Vincent. Vincent Bright. Many times over the CEO. Bright many times over the CEO. I don't think he has a desire to create chaos in this country. I don't think there's anything for him to gain by falsifying information for the people of this country in terms of the joint services vote. Matter of fact, he's a man, because of his brilliance, who spotted on at least 2 occasions when the likes of Prasad were trying to steal 2 elections from the people of this country in favor of the PPP. So I sitting and I watching. And I saying, all these people doing is building a bonfire. All these people doing, they're storing up embers, is it you call it? But pray to God, the fire don't get light. Because Bob Marley said it best. They will be burning and looting tonight. I don't want to see my country burn. I don't want to see anybody get beat up. I want to see us have a peaceful, free, and fair election and a peaceful what do you call it? Yeah, I know what I'm talking about, right? Transition, a peaceful transition of government. That's my desire. That's my heart's desire. cultural policy. Let's talk about cultural policy. I did say we're going to talk about cultural policy. But Ann Posada, whatever her name is, she came and she made a statement, and just as I give you the right to response, right to respond, I took the right to respond. I know they're going to send the police at my gate. I know they're going to send ERC, but whatever the consequences, choices have consequences. Choices have consequences. I've already made my choices. It would suggest that I'm prepared to live with the consequences. I hope a lot of other people prepare to live with the consequences of their choice. Some Africans like say, I choose war. TikTok. I must spend too much time on TikTok. I choose war. Right? But let's look at the APN News cultural policy, or a section of the APN News cultural policy. Sport, recreation, and leisure for all, for competition, health and well-being, social cohesion, quality of life. I want to be with that one. In reviewing the situation in sports, recreation, and leisure in Guyana today, we can detect several deficiencies and problems, including the limited opportunities for citizens to engage in these activities, especially youths, indigenous people, women, students, the elderly, and the disabled. Roman numeral 2, the very narrow view of sports as activity mostly for competition and high performance, and less for other aims such as recreation, health, social cohesion, and community enrichment. Roman numeral 3, relatedly, the underappreciation of leisure and recreation is overlapping but separate from sports, requiring a broader policy approach. And 4, the marked decline in achievements by our athletes and players in regional and international competitions. In our national sports and recreation policy, we will, for example, invest heavily in a sports and recreation for all agenda to provide opportunities for citizens to learn and play sports, to have fun, and for youth to explore their talents and potential. In all 10 regions, we will upgrade or build new parks, playgrounds, nature trails, beaches, multi-purpose sports complexes, cycle paths, game rooms, holiday resorts, and other such facilities. It's me. For enjoyment and socializing, building community spirit and social cohesion and health. In rural and hinterland and urban areas, regardless of age, gender, disability, residence, social status, or political affiliation, all with benefit in safe and dedicated spaces. In a range of indoor and outdoor sports, games, and recreational activities, and in schools and other educational institutions. We'll put Guyana back on the global sports map through measures to develop and sustain excellence and high performance in all aspects of the sports system. By investing in the construction and maintenance of modern sports facilities of international standards, by ensuring that the Guyana Cricket Board is an independent organization which, through professional management, can restore cricket to its rightful place as a crucial element in the nation's overall development. By establishing a well-structured system of competitions in sports and games across the country, by providing coaches as a norm to schools and communities by establishing a formal system to spot and develop early talent. By providing a support system for athletes, including access to education and career planning. By increasing the potential of sports as a financially rewarding career, and by expanding the use of sports medicine and sports biometrics. 3. Promote sports and national revenue generation and image building by implementing measures to boost sports tourism and make Ghana an attractive venue for sponsor regional and international competitions. 4. Strengthen sports governance and administration to promote effective decision-making, transparency, and accountability by, for example, training sports leaders, organizers, and administrators in the management of sport facilities and activities. 5. Reinvigorate the National Sports Development Council and mandate it to work closely with sports associations, experts, players, and others. And appoint a minister who is competent and passionate about sports. Our arts, culture, and heritage agenda. The APNU government is eager to bring vision, energy, and resources to the arts, culture, and heritage scene in Ghana. We fully recognize arts, culture, and heritage to be both tangible, such as paintings and historic sites, and intangible, such as oral traditions and performing arts. As such, we will conservatively create a policy framework with at least 8 policy goals. 1, to enhance national identity, pride, and prestige. 2, to preserve, promote, and pass on national culture, including indigenous languages and local musical genres. 3, to maintain and mainstream our national landmarks and heritage sites. 4, to open more opportunities for all forms of cultural expressions of the Guyanese people. 5, to make arts and culture a widespread recreational and leisure pursuit. 6, to leverage our art and cultural assets for economic opportunities by, for example, creating creative industries. 7, to advance cross-ethnic understanding and appreciation. And 8, to make arts and culture a sustainable high-income career for art and culture creators. Specific initiatives include safeguarding our intangible cultural assets based mainly on the recommendations of the recommendations of the National Workshop on the UNESCO 2003 Convention on Intangible Cultural Heritage held in Ghana in April 2025. Working with the Interim Steering Committee tasked in April 2025 with the preservation of the masquerade band tradition and with establishing the Ghana Masquerade Association. Upgrading the teaching and learning resources of arts and culture in lower schools and raising the prestige of and enrollment into the CXC subjects of theater arts and performing arts. Creating an integrated and well-resourced campus in several regions to house the Institute of Creative Arts, the National School of Theater Arts, the ER Borough School of Art, the National School of Music, and the National School of Dance to enhance and increase creative and artistic collaborations and synergies, and to raise the prestige and prominence of these schools. Upgrading all museums and cultural centers countrywide to increase more public engagement and visits. In particular, we will build a larger national museum with more modern, creative, diverse, and exciting collections with technical assistance from highly regarded international museums such as the Smithsonian. Encouraging and organizing cultural and heritage events for the public such as festivals, shows, exhibitions, competitions, and celebrations under the APNU government. Ghana will have a vibrant arts and culture scene. Energizing and expanding their operations in the National Trust, increasing the number of curators through training and adequate remuneration. Supporting and recognizing artists, and this one is the youngster that I was talking about. Supporting and recognizing artists and performers through grants, micro and small business soft loans, tax concessions, scholarships, mentorship, purchase agreements, employment, and national awards and prizes. The APNU government will commit, for example, to buying, hiring, and contracting a significant amount of work from local creators and performers. That young man said he invested $30,000 to create one of the jingles that is being used by the Blue Party. Not only was he told it was too late for the competition, despite he submitted it 2 days before the competition. But he got no reward for it. In short, he invested and lost $30,000. Working to establish creative industries in Ghana through the commercialization of creative content in the visual arts, performing arts, media, and entertainment, design and architecture, advertising and marketing, and digital media and software. To this end, we, as the next government, will strengthen and enforce intellectual property laws and grant targeted tax and other concessions. The creators in this country have been crying their eyeballs out for intellectual property rights, for the laws to be adjusted so that they can get their just due. For as long as I can remember, the APNU is saying, we will strengthen and enforce intellectual property laws and also grant targeted tax and other concessions. Supporting the formation and operations of associations of art and culture creators and provide funding. Modernizing and digitizing the material in the National Archives and providing the public with free online access. There you have it. A snippet, a quick run through of the cultural policy of the APNU. No longer must our creatives sit back and watch other people use their content and they're sucking salt and other people eating bread off of their content. When you could have a sitting minister, what wild run is her? The lion lady. Engage a creative to provide services for her ministry. Collected all the creators' ideas and turn them over to somebody else. That is not what we want in government. That is not what is going to empower creatives. In Jamaica, the entertainment industry is big. Barbados, Suriname, they make money, they live off of their output. In Ghana, when we look at our creatives, they're barely eking out a living. Some of them are security officers, guards, as we like to say. Some of them might be teachers, some of them might just there knock around. There's no comprehensive policy to encourage them to produce and produce of a high quality. There's no support system in place to watch that industry go. Not by chance that our superstar Eddie Grant could have left these shows and be recognized around the world over the way he is recognized. Because he had talent, he had a raw talent to start with. And he found a support system in those countries that he chose to take his talent. Every Guyanese youth man has it within them to be a next Eddie Grant. To be a next Terence Ali. Young people ain't gonna know about Terence Ali. To be a next Sixed Lewis. But the question is, are they being given a fair chance? Does the PPP government care about giving them a fair chance? Y'all don't like when I go here, but hear what I'm thinking. There are not many Indo-Guyanese boxers. Black people just box. Black people like fight. So we're investing in gym and coaches to produce the highest quality boxers. There ain't many Indo-Guyanese footballers. So we're investing in football facilities. There's a predominance of, and this is arguable, Indo-Guyanese cricketers. And so we're going to invest in cricketing facilities. And even in African Guyanese communities where there are lots of youngsters interested in cricket, we will not support the growth and development of cricketing facilities in those areas. As a matter of fact, taking Buxton as an example, we're going to destroy the cricket pitch and tell them play football. And this, while it has an impact on the psyche of the whole nation and it affects the entire society, I don't believe these are policies that are embraced by the wider Indo-Guyanese community. But you have a small group of people doing it in your name. And you're not speaking out against it. And so you become complicit in that kind of behavior. And so when people address it, and address it frontally, you call us racist and you say we don't like you. I personally have no hatred for Indo-Guyanese or any other ethnic group, as a matter of fact. But I detest the things they support. I detest the way the leaders that they support behave. I'm saying every single citizen of this country, regardless of race, ethnicity, or creed, deserve a better government than the PPP. They deserve a better government than the PPP. And so we should give them that opportunity to get a better government than the PPP. And so anybody who joins in the PPP to corrupt these elections naturally would be a part of the problem. The lines are open. 6225933 is the number to call. You're tuned to the Guyanese Morning Time.
You can get meat anywhere.
Good morning.
Button up while we beg, milk and honey gone, but we still drink dregs. Them build big house while school roof fall, and poor man crying when rain start fall. Them take oil, gold and timber too, but the children.
Like the call it in hearing by. The lines remain open. 6225933 is the number to call.
Hello, good morning.
You're on. Good morning.
How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. I'm alive and grateful.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Because I need your vote. I need you and your family vote come the force. So hang on. Don't go outside. Stay inside for me. You could go outside till the force. Good morning to all my black brothers and sisters this morning. Flash Garden is back bigger and better than before. Let me shout out to my friend Mark. I owe him that. I listened to your program. I started back listening to your program last night. But you hit me back with my own words. Thank you very much. You said it is not too late for you to do the right thing. That the one must always encourage my black brothers and sisters on this program here. It is not too late for you to do the right thing. I always preach that parable from God book King James with the prodigal son. My duty is to encourage those who in win party. I don't care what damn those who in PPP party. To me, them done that already. Let it dead bury the dead. God word got to come to pass. God tell France Garden, go and save those who in win party. Them must save. Them must talk to every morning now. Because them young. And they don't know politics. But we got to teach them. Some going to come over and some will stay unborn. We are not responsible for those who stay unborn. We're responsible for those who willing to come over and listen to that young politician. He said one thing, in politics, you got to toe the line. In politics, you got to wait your turn. You can't come from the back row and jump and go in the front row and say, I'm running for president. You can't do that. You hurt your own self. And you're going to make other people punishing too because of what you did. Because Desmond Prasad was not no politician. He make us punish for 22 years because he started to destroy Bonham Foundation, bringing people outside for overlook our election and make law for GCOM. If I'm saying Desmond Prasad signed up for GCOM, black people never benefit from GCOM. I don't care who bambays me. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Bonham put Desmond Prasad, but if Bonham put Hampton Green, black people that never punished today because Hampton Green for a little boy, me know he's a no nonsense man. He will let them call, hey, we are one Guyanese, we got to live together. That's all on hang up your phone. Desmond Prasad put Carbon. We still continue to suffer. Carbon put Granger. We still suffering. But let me say the same, my black brother and sister. When Carbon put Granger Prasad for lead in Georgetown, in Big Market and Border Market, when we just leave here and go and protect myself, everybody be talking, they be one, they be rather Abby Norton. So it's years people been waiting upon Abby Norton for leadership, especially those who in Sophia. That means the one in Sophia, most in Border Market, they be rather Abby Norton. But you see now, Abby Norton wait to turn. What is scripture? Those who wait upon the Lord shall what? Rise up or mount up with wings like eagles. God put Abby Norton, and God gonna make Abby Norton deliver. We got to continue rally behind Abby Norton. Continue focus on these ones on wins because they are innocent, and we must not stand by and let our black young people stand by and suffer. Because Mohammed is the next Jim Jones. Mohammed will be the next Jack Dio. Why Mohammed only go and get them call them scrapes and criminals for joining him? Why? It's to protect him like how Jack Dio doing and teach him the same thing.
Flash Gordon.
Yes.
Flash Gordon.
Yes.
I do not believe only scrapes, as you call them, and criminals support Mohammed. Don't do it.
No. I'm not making a reference that they call them that and they're using them. There's the one give them that name. I'm not calling them that. But those who is sitting on him, them are slave catchers, Miss Amsterdam. Them know what Mohammed did for 23 years. Mohammed never voted for them to get little breathing spot 2015. Mohammed joined for PPP. Mohammed voted for all the days of life. We got to face reality and fact. They're calling them these names. Mohammed was part of them, and Mohammed is using them. It destroying them, disrespecting them. One thing before we go. What we don't like with Mohammed, the first group of people, young people who go out and protect him that morning, I believe Saturday morning, Sunday morning, one young black girl was there with her baby. Mohammed was behind that girl. Mom is supposed to tell a girl, go with the baby, and you're not supposed to be here. Thank you very much for come. As usual, leave your name with Fatu in the book. Mom allowed that little baby for take a goddamn bullet for him. And when we see black man, I support him, it hurt me. I mean, that would talk. If me was mommy, would tell a black girl, no, you're not supposed to be. You go, man, take care of your baby, take your baby home. But thank you very much for representing me. Thank you very much for your time.
That was Flash Gordon for you. The lines remain home. 6225933 is the number to call. You're tuned to the Guyanese Morning Time. Call you on. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, call you on. Good morning.
Kiraki, good morning, and good morning to the listeners. Pertaining to what you said about GCOM, and they say that they don't have presiding officers. I personally don't believe it's a case where they don't have persons to work as presiding officers, because I know for certain in my area on the Upper East Coast, a lot of persons who worked previously with GCOM for years as presiding officers, they weren't called as this time. Some of them were given positions like ballot clerk and poll clerk. Now, what I believe is that people in the lower East Coast, where the PPP normally practice their skullduggery, those people realize that what the PPP want them to do or had them done the last time, they're not prepared to do this time because the consequences might be dire. So those are the persons who are refusing to work as POs. But I personally don't believe it's a case where they don't have, because I'm telling you for certain, a lot of persons who work with GCOM for years, teachers, head teachers, and were seasoned election workers, they weren't called this time to perform the duties. And the other thing I want to speak about is that you mentioned those persons who are working in the private security system who may have precept. What I want people to understand, those precept doesn't give them the right to go about the place and play police and arrest people, you know. A precept gives you the right to perform duty on the post to which your security firm is entitled to work. So it doesn't give you the right to perform duty as a police to arrest people. And the other thing is that once you are a precepted security officer, you're supposed to be having on your uniform at all times when you're carrying a firearm. Because what happened that a lot of these persons who are working in the security system, they are not properly trained to use those firearms. If you question them, I'm almost certain 90% of them don't know the rules of when you may fire. And that is why we're getting this problem. So I personally don't believe, well, I'm telling you that they're not authorized to go about the place with precept arresting people. The precept only give them the authority to work on the site to which it is they're authorized to work. That's my contribution. Thank you very much. Hello?
Thank you for your call.
Yes, thank you.
And so you heard it there from that caller. The precept doesn't give you a right to go about playing police. I said to you, know your place and time. You ain't got no right to go about playing police. Your precept covers you for wherever you are stationed as the security officer, wherever your firm, company, whatever employer has that contract for you to work. Know your place and know your time. I will keep repeating that. When I go to the another man's house, he left you open. Call it live.
Yeah, good morning, Kedaki, and everyone. With this thing with GCOM decided to forego a lot of old persons who used to work. They trained a lot of them, and when they were finished training them, they did not take them. They took a lot of young people, boys and girls, to work as presiding officers. From the presiding officer got their functions to deal with the certain cases. The cases like blind, incapacitated, proxy, and so. They leave that to them, and they were the persons, the presiding officers, who had to do all the entries into the poll book. But this 2025 training, they said that the poll clerks who got to call the names got to write in the poll books. Now that is a no-no. The whole scenario as we look at it, I think the entire GCOM needs to be changed because Claudette Singh as the chairman, Anil Giddens and Vishnu Prasad, I want to know how they are looking at the last hours before election when you don't have a proper polling day team. I mean the POs, the APOs, poll clerks, and ballot box clerks. So right about now, GCOM should say to themselves, they are not prepared for this election. And because they have not prepared persons for this election is going to have very bad consequences. It tastes sour in my mouth. I used to work with GCOM. I was out when they call me, I come and I call them, I keep calling them. And they never call me. And I know GCOM want to call me because I talk about the things of GCOM, the atrocities, like the biometrics, and no phones must be allowed in the voting compartment. I was about that all the time. And GCOM still went ahead to try to say they are ready for an election. And now at the last moment, the people who they propped up for an election, all of them now has dropped the towel in the face. The police who did that thing, we must make certain we put the police in jail. And all who try to take pictures, let me put them in jail. And send a stall message to GCOM. The boy who spoke about his thing, I'm sorry for him, but he decided to go the win way. And I want when we go into power, we must look into the law of copyrights. Copyrights got to be something on the front burner in Guyana. Because there is no copyright laws, a lot of things will happen like what happened to that boy. I have done a set of work that I need to put out there. But because there is no copyright law to protect me, I got my things them all around the place because I'm afraid to put out my content out there. We continue to see the road carnage. We continue to see murders of our women folk. And I hope one day that could come to a halt because every person is needed. And when you look at certain things, it would bleed your heart. So that is it. And a lot of people trying to mix your words and say you're talking about war after election. Parajagyo openly said that he is prepared to go to war after the elections. But those people who would call in on your program and use those type of things, they say that they got Barrett said that he's looking for war after the 2020 elections. And if he say it, and other people like me and you say gonna be war, we are only repeating what Barrett Jagdio has instilled in the populate of Guyana, Baba.
Good morning, Kadaki. Good morning, Kadaki. You're doing a good job. I've been listening to your program, but I want to ask that when the list would be up in Linden, the list would be up in Linden to know if you named up on the list. We can know we're part of Block 22 or Linden and see no list. The government didn't put no list. We know that where we voting. And one people asking themselves a question, they didn't see no list. So we didn't see no list around we here. We have to say, we could check our name to know where we voted. But where we voted before, we gonna go back. But the government's supposed to put a list to know if you're named up on the list. We never know if you named back on the list or not. Because you know, if you switch your name or anything, but we just want to know when they would bring up a list to know if we named up on the list. Because I would like to know.
And that's a problem across this country, as a caller, as the voice note mentioned. Polling places are what people thought were polling places and believe are polling places. There are lots of places without lists. The Paradise Primary School up to last week had no lists. People were checking daily for lists, and there were no lists there. Initially, I was told that there were some painters who worked there, and apparently they used the list that was placed there to clean their paint brushes. And so no list was there, and the people in Paradise were asking about lists. Just this morning, an elderly gentleman came to me. He spoke to me yesterday. He went to Tipperary Hall to check for his name, and there is no list at Tipperary Hall. So the GCOM officers and representatives need to correct this anomaly. By now, these places are supposed to have lists for people to check their names. And I've been saying to people, check your names early to ensure you know where you're voting. Because come election morning, you don't want to be frustrated. Just like the elderly gentleman said to me this morning. He said, if we're searching now and can't find our names, it's frustration election morning. I might as well stay home. People are going to just stay home. And I think that is a plot. I think that is a plot to suppress voting in Afro-Guyanese communities or opposition bases. And so don't let us put the lists early. Don't give them an access to so they can check and verify their place of poll and so on, because the fact is a very small percentage of this populace understands the use of the internet and even going online at GCOM website to check for names and where to vote and all of that. So these are things that are intended to frustrate people and suppress the vote in certain communities. So I'm saying to you guys, if you can assist in any way, help the people in your neighborhood to find their names on the list and the places of poll for them. You can sit at home and use the GCOM website to do that. My number remains 6225933. Anybody wants that assistance, send me your information. The lines remain open, 6225933 it is. Let me go play another voice note.
PPP can't install no more. They was installed, not just now with all them innocent blood. It's all about sacrificing, no matter what color we be. And just for show how them get feelings for nobody, look at the little innocent child blood. And all who think them install them back, yeah, evil going back to y'all. Yeah, evil works calming y'all and y'all household. It's all about the children's future. So the children could able to go back to whatever institute, just for sure Jack do them wicked, close on them institute and them thing, for the young people them, for kill out the young people them, so then could bring in the Bangladesh and the Venezuelan. So it's really Guyanese people life threatening. So Guyanese people are you wake up, you know you wake up. But it's just y'all in one for talk. Because I know I get a guy over here, he's on Carly, he was a police, and he see vote for the APNU coalition. The win and the PPP is the same. That is all about evil, dynamic, but praise and works. Boots on the ground. And the Almighty is setting his children free, like how he said it free, set his children free from Pharaoh. Guyanese people ain't stupid. Them ain't stupid. But still, you have to put it into the young people them all the time. Refresh them mind and remind them. Don't get carried away with win. Win money is not the young people money. It's not their money. So you need them for know that APNU coalition policy It's like a parents putting thing in place for their children. And they putting thing in place for the young people them so they could be responsible and people could look up to them. And everybody must be equal in enjoying the resources.
Kadaki, blessings and good morning, my brother, to you and our listeners, listeners from the diaspora, listeners from the four corners of the globe. Kadaki, my contribution this morning, I want to speak prophetically this morning. I am celebrating my victory because I know that the coalition already won this election spiritually. Karaki, the PPP could never win this election under my watch. My contribution this morning, I want to thank all the social media talk show hosts, people like Mark Brenchop, Rickford Burke, Melly Mel, Dr. Hines, Norman Brown, Karaki Amsterdam, and those who I didn't call. Karaki, I want to thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart for this struggle and giving me the opportunity to be part of this struggle. Karaki, I'm very grateful to be part of this struggle. I just want to urge the Guyanese people this morning to hold the faith, steadfast, and leave everything in the hands of the Most High God. The PPP right now, they know that they defeated. They know that it's not no if but no maybe. God have a hand in this election. God have a hand. I could feel the spirit moving, man. Karaki, they will try all kind of madness. They will try all kind of thing. I hear Jagdeo talking about putting the armed forces, the armed forces on alert and all kind of drama thing. Tell Barra Jagdeo, we have our armed forces too, you know. Our armed forces is on alert too. Kadaki, I am out and listening. Have a great
Morning, Mr. Kadaki. Sacrificial government. The red that the PPP wears demonstrate blood. It can't hide. They're so blatant, and we African are getting it. Name me 3 Indians that ever get gunned down in the David Granger administration. Are we taking too long to react? When I talk sometimes, Mr. Kadaki, you take me off the program because you say you don't want to be in problem. But just like how your blood boils, my blood boils to see that this PPP thief in cabal is so blatant in the do. And we sleeping. Look as far as this young woman that got 10 bullets yesterday. What she fella did. 10 bullets. All these things coming to the fore for Guyanese, not black people alone. Guyanese see that the PPP incompetent. There is incompetent. where lawlessness there from the top, it will trickle down to the bottom. And all these people that got ID card and money pile up in the house, we are aware of it. We are aware of it, and we're gonna be vigilant. What I know the PPP is good at, spending our own money upon us. And them little thugs that got guns, not even high power rifle, high power gun like what the sheriff got. The PPP secure their people with high power rifle. We know all of that. But the little thugs them get pie. All you better come to all your senses and know what you're doing. They want to make Guyana a battleground, but they ain't gonna able to handle it. They won't able to handle it because these elections ain't going down like that. It ain't gonna go like that. And like Bharat said, he gonna make the country ungovernable, ungoverned when was Granger time. Just so you say, just so we gonna do. And remind you, all the Sugate story, the one you mentioned that you still planning to give Venezuela peace out of the Atlantic, them thing is treason. You ain't supposed to sit down there. You're not supposed to sit down there no more. A lot of things come out from your mouth, and you don't talk to the giant forces for do what they got to do. The giant forces left the blood home. They left the blood home. But we're gonna be vigilant and look at you because you're quiet. Are you studying like thief in a house how to get out? Are you studying how for rig? Are you good in rigging, but are you done in calculating? And it ain't gonna happen because we're gonna be vigilant. I left in Bobby, so got till at Linden and vote, and I'm coming down for watch my partner back in Bad Settlement. And that girl and what your name was about beat up, we ain't beating up. It's people in Bad Settlement, they beat police. So mind your words. I just want to cuss up. But the time gonna come. Even if I say I win the election when I rig it and I in there, chaos gonna start. So I put it in a pipe and smoke it. It ain't gonna go down easy. ExxonMobil operation gonna seize. That is my contribution.
Good morning, Kadaki. Good morning, Kadaki. You're doing a good job. I've been listening to your program, but I want to ask that when the list would be up in Linden, the list would be up in Linden for know if you named up on the list. We can know we're part of Block 22 or Linden. I see no list. The government didn't put no list for know that where we voting. And one people asking a separate question, they didn't see no list. So we didn't see no list around we here. So we could check our name to know where we voted. But where we voted before, we're going to go back. But the government's supposed to put a list to know if you're named up on the list. We never know if you named back on the list or not. Because you know, if you switch your name or anything, but we just want to know when they would bring up a list to know if we named up on the list.
Brother Kidaki, morning viewers. We want it all right in Guyanese. Brother Kidaki, that statement that you make this morning concerning ID card, the girl that I'm getting that I'm still. Brother Kidaki, to be honest, that girl is my friend. But I talked to that girl. That girl is my son, godmother. I talked to that girl. I tell the girl you played fire and you get burned. I talked to that girl over and over. The girl didn't want to hear. Anyhow, the slave catcher Jordan and I'm still. The PPP fed up paying me thief every money that the PPP give to eat to forget it. The slave catcher them from the Namsel, you rob all of them. So they gone to she now. You understand me, Brother Kidaki? They gone to her now. You understand me? They gone to her now for do a dirty bid and I talk to this girl. I tell this girl the role where you playing is one of the most dangerous role. You're playing. So Brother Kidaki, I wouldn't You know, said that is not true. You understand? Because I know this individual. I know this individual proper. I talk to the girl. It's the girl whole family up on this nonsense, you know. This girl whole family up on this bullshit. You understand me? You understand me? This girl whole family. And I glad the world to know that what's going on in the Namstel. What these people doing to our own people in the Namstel. You understand me? And I calling on all the Namstel people. Take pictures. Take pictures. It might not be she alone. They got others. They got others slave catcher. But they can't catch the slave them no more. It's proven to his own self in the Namstel. The PPP at zero, the Namstel people. The win at zero, the Namstel people. The opposition at the biggest crowd in the Namstel. That have a show that is shitting. Transfer the shit in the Namstel, the PPP and win. You understand me? This time a long time. You understand me? This time a long time at all. And they calling on all Guyanese black people. Y'all wake up. Take the money. Video them. You understand me? You record them. When they don't get them your ID card, you record them. I begging on the Namstel people especially. I know they got some weak vessels in the Namstel. You can see them. You can see all running about the PPP and the WIM. It's people who need money, people who need things. You go around and look at the surrounding. We see running by WIM and PPP. Y'all go and have a look, especially the slave catcher. He living in a squatting area. You don't have water, you don't have light, you don't have road, you don't have a proper bridge. Can you imagine it, Brother Kidak? And this is people running by PPP. But Jack Dio said that criminal said that I think your only body is PPP is Kuli people. And then got no black person that is a PPP. The man say that. That's what the man mean. The man should gotta be a ban PPP for be a PPP. Which black man ban as a PPP? Come on, bro. Why black people don't wake up and smell the coffee? Wake up. This government are trampling on us all section of this country. Come on, bro. Why you believe the villages that these people depress, of African villages that these people depress? They depress it for a purpose. They depress it for a reason that they could catch them because they know that they're stupid. Catch them and give them a little $1,000, a box of sour cocoa rice and a box of sour soup, and they're gone with you. You understand me? This is the thing that our black people selling out our dignity, selling out our entire life for crumbs, Brother Kidak and viewers. And we're gonna be on the lookout. We're gonna be on the lookout because this thing is not fair. And I hope that the police listening. I hope that they don't stop them at the Namstel police force listening and the Lenore police force. They jackass them, they murderous them. I hope they're listening. I hope they listen carefully. And when time for the hack, they hack in the right bloody direction. And your viewers, y'all have a blessed day.
Good morning, Mr. Amsterdam. Let me say this clearly. You see that same Mohammed and Win that our black people are running behind? I am asking the parents of these children and these people that they just do something for them. That man doesn't want good for people. He is faking it until you see he gets somewhere. All he's looking for, he don't want money. All he wants is power that he could do what he wants. He's not going to look in their corner when they don't put him there. And they're going to be sorry souls in this place. People, all you talk to all your children. And if y'all two doing it, y'all better think and think again. And Mohammed government will not do anything for you people. And I'm saying he could never be in government in this country. He is tainted. He do not have a proper character. What is he saying? I am saying, are we going to take out one bad apple and put the next one? Is that the mentality of black people in this country? They're going to be sorry. I'm telling you, I'm seeing it. The writing is on the wall. They're going to be sorry for just wasting the vote behind Mohammed. I'm telling you, the writing is big on the wall. That man is not serious. That man wants to get back his business and the sanction off of him. That is all he's interested in at this moment. And making them fools. Thank you.
Why? Granny, here's what happened. happy about what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing people talking about APNU. Is what I'm talking about, Granny. I see enough green APNU flag all over with things they gonna do. Like my old age pension gonna raise to $100,000 and school grant to $120,000. That sounded nice, but that's just the start, Granny. AP and you gonna get flat rate taxes for an all vehicle. Well, my child, this sounding lovely. Plus, all them people who cleaning drains and building little roads, AP and you dep on them smart things. Them same people gonna be contractors for them big roads too. AP and you got program for them. True, cause them little road could only build one time. Wait, Granny, it ain't done yet. AP and you giving significant salary increase and more benefits allowance for public servants. Plus, hear this, AP and you giving $200,000 in the first 30 to 60 days in office to everybody 18 years and over. Well, yes, them could call elections right now. I'm ready for vote for them. Granny, it ain't done yet. Free house lots, plus VAT down up to 8%. Life gonna be nice with AP and you. Plus, price don't gone up for enough things. Well, my child, this is what we need. I got vote for the hand for real. But Granny, we don't know what we got to do. Because I could tell you, me best time as a Guyanese live in this country was 2015 to 2020. Living like a boss. You think I know big buy for you? So when election day come 1st of September, I gonna vote for Mr. Aubrey. Yes, that is it, my child. We behind the party that putting people first.
Vote APNU, putting people first. That was a paid political ad.
It is now 9 hours 29 in this beautiful country of ours. It is time for me to take my leave of you. Peace and love is the message. But always remember, in order for there to be development, sometimes there's got to be destruction. If you want to chop your spunk in your mansion, you got to break down the whole house. If we want to fix this nation, we have to be prepared to do what it takes to fix this nation. Don't be intimidated. Don't be bullied. Don't let nobody cough off for you. We got a few hours left to demand that GCOM get it right. Ensure you add your voice to the call. Let GCOM get it right. Let the PPP play fair. And let all of us live in peace. Peace is the message. Y'all have a good one. Hey, I like the granny. I like the granny thing. Let me see if I find it and play it back. Yes, I love granny.
Why? Granny, here's what happened. Happy about what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing people talking about APNU. Is what I'm talking about, Granny. I see enough green APNU flag all over with things they gonna do. Like my old age pension gonna raise to $100,000 and school grant to $120,000. That sounded nice, but that's just the start, Granny. AP and you gonna get flat rate taxes for an all vehicle. Well, my child, this sounding lovely. Plus, all them people who cleaning drains and building little roads, AP and you dep on them smart things. Them same people gonna be contractors for them big roads too. AP and you got program for them. True, cause them little road could only build one time. Wait, Granny, it ain't done yet. AP and you giving significant salary increase and more benefits allowance for public servants. Plus, hear this, AP and you giving $200,000 in the first 30 to 60 days in office to everybody 18 years and over. Well, yes, them could call elections right now. I'm ready for vote for them. Granny, it ain't done yet. free house lots, plus VAT down to 8%. Life gonna be nice with APNU. Plus, price don't gone up for enough things. Well, my child, this is what we need. I got vote for the hand for real. Well, Granny, we don't know what we got to do. Because I could tell you, me best time as a Guyanese live in this country was 2015 to 2020. Living like a boss. You think I know big buy for you? So when election day come 4th of September, I gonna vote for Mr. Aubrey. Yes, that is it, my child. We behind the party that putting people first.
Vote APNU, putting people first. That was a paid political ad.